Ah, there he is. Hello, Jack. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you, Ariel. How are you doing?
You're the nicest man in the world, so I can't believe for a moment that you forgot about us. I think maybe the time change
No,
screwed you
man.
up.
Yeah, that's it. I'm so jet lagged now, so I can't keep my head straight. And I was falling in and out of sleep, and I'm just okay. 8 p.m. 8 p.m. Now it's 7:30.
It's okay.
Sorry for that.
No problem at all. I appreciate you coming on. What a win for you. What a performance. Did you feel, Jack,
Thank you.
like because it had been so long since you last fought and won that people were forgetting about you and you had to do something to really remind people that you're still a player at 185?
Yeah, definitely. Especially when I had a loss in my back, and Joe was so hyped up, and everybody thought that okay, this is the next big thing. I really felt that like people was counting me out on this one.
Did you feel like this was a fight that the UFC put together in order to kind of make him into a star off of your name and back? Did you feel like this was sort of like that stepping stone fight?
Yeah, of course, 100%. For me, he was unranked. He was just like having a lot of hype, and he wanted to get my number, and the UFC gave them an opportunity to do that. But I feel like with me coming off the win now I'm in a different situation all of a sudden.
And just curious, like, did that bother you, or do you view that as sort of this is the fight game, this is how it works, the circle of life?
Yeah, that definitely didn't bother me at all. Sometimes even I got an opportunity like that once, so it's very natural that when there is a young fighter coming up, he needs to get an opportunity, and you need to defend your spot. That's just how it works.
Were you surprised that they offered you Joe? Like, did there was a big gap between you and your resume and the guys that he had fought up until that point. When you were first, approached about this fight, were you surprised that they were going in this direction?
I didn't think too much about it, but I knew that he had a lot of hype, and everybody was kind of talking about him. So when I got the fight, I was just like, "Hey, why is this good for me?" And yeah, you will get a main event, and I thought that yeah, coming off a loss and getting straight into a main event is not a big bad deal. So I thought, yeah, let's do it, and. Also, when it was a lot of eyes on Joe, I thought that they would also give me a chance to show myself.
And so obviously now you've been in there with him for 25 minutes, and I tend to believe that guys stumble. This isn't pro boxing. You don't have to go 30-0 to be considered a future contender or whatnot. And so I feel like this is like a learning lesson for him, and that he can
Yeah.
regroup and get back on track. Do you feel the same now that you've been in there with him and felt his power and seen his skills in person? Do you feel like he has a future at 185, that he could be a player as well?
Absolutely. I think he's gonna grow from this and become an even better fighter. And I do think he has some skills that are really really good. So I don't see why he shouldn't be able to be great in the sport. I just think that he needs a little bit more time, and yeah, he will get up there because he has some qualities that are very very good.
Did you offer any words of wisdom, advice to him after the fight?
Mostly, we talk a little bit, but I was just saying that people are gonna try to push you down now after your loss, and they are merciless, and don't take that too hard, and you will switch around and come back stronger. And yeah, just some positive words for him, because I know how merciless it is, especially when you lose and people feel like they get a good opportunity to push you down. And I could see how everything changed in just 24 hours there. It was like supposed to be the next prospect, the best in the world before the fight, and after the fight, in the comments, it's like he's worth nothing, and nobody's believing in him anymore. So yeah, I hope that don't get too much into him, and that he will be back soon. I'm sure he's gonna be well.
Now, what about this Apex? Everyone talking about the Apex. When you found out that you were headlining the Apex, and now that you've fought at the Apex, how do you feel about it? Do you want to go back there, or have you had enough of it as well?
No, I have enough of it. I don't know how many fights I had there now, and on top of that, I had all of the fights during COVID, without audience. I'm just like sick of it. I want big arenas, big crowds. That's something else. So it's cool to watch fights in the Apex, and it's kind of cool on TV as well with the sound and everything that you can hear so much. But the experience is nowhere near to be fighting in front of a huge crowd.
Do you feel like it affects your performance because there's just such a lack of energy?
I don't think so. I feel like I'm so turned on anyway when I'm in there. Yeah. So I don't think it affects my performance, but I do know that it affects how enjoyable it is, especially after you win a fight, to soak in that experience from the crowd and so the total experience is not as great without the crowd.
So like I said, you're the nicest guy, but what happens if they call you and say, okay, we've got your next fight and it's at the Apex?
Yeah, I don't know. The most important thing is probably the opponent, and so I don't think if it's a good opponent, I'm not gonna turn it down. But I really would prefer to be fighting somewhere else.
By the way, was it crazy in Vegas because the Super Bowl was on Sunday, and did you stick around for the Super Bowl?
I did not, both because like the tickets were like super expensive, and also to fly home after the Super Bowl was also a lot more expensive than to be flying home on the Sunday. So I was just like, it's going to be too costful to stay. Hopefully another time will be a great experience.
Did you even notice that the Super Bowl was in town where you were fighting, or were you so locked in that it didn't really affect you in any way?
No, it didn't. You could see like it was more cars, it was more traffic, more people in town. But that was about it.
And by the way, for you and given where you're at in your life and in your career, to be out of action for as long as you were out, how difficult was that for you, mentally, physically, for your family? How problematic and how challenging was this?
Yeah, definitely not good because 1 year of my career at this point is kind of a big part of my career, of the time that I have left. So it did not feel good to be away for that long, and 1 year without any money, that wasn't good either. It was like barely so I could make it. The savings were kind of done.
Yeah.
So so there was definitely not good, but I knew that I had to do it the right way and not stress to come back too early to be able to continue, because it was kind of bad before my last fight when I pulled out. So I knew I had to do it in the right way.
What was the issue? Why were you out for so long?
I do have a back problem, so kind of a chronic back injury. So and I was supposed to fight Brandon Allen in June last year, and leading up to that fight, it was just too painful. I couldn't train, and so I kind of tried to train, and it didn't work out. And then I rested for a couple of days. Then I tried again, and it didn't work out. And every time I tried to do my training, my back just couldn't do it. So then I knew that it's time to take some time off and see if I can get rid of that.
Okay. And is this like, do you feel like it's been rectified, or is it always something that you're going to have to deal with?
It's probably going to be there. So not as bad as it was, but it's not easy to get rid of, and the treatment options are very few. So and they're like still learning a lot about my condition. So yeah, there's not so much treatment out there, and so it's more about working around it and not triggering it too much. So that's the hard part, because this sport is merciless, and it's hard to be nice on your body when we're doing this. But I feel like I have a lot of experience now, and I know ways around it. And as long as I'm listening to my body, I should be able to do this for a couple of more years.
So after this 25-minute fight, how is it feeling now, and the flights and all that?
Yeah, not too bad actually. So the back is in a pretty good state at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's harder with the like it's the amount of training, the volume of training, that's the hardest part. So I had to, before this fight with Joe, I cut down some of my volume, so I didn't train as much as I did before, but still managed to have a high quality and to get in really, really good shape. So sometimes less is more. So
I still can't believe that MMA is illegal in Norway. It blows my mind that we're still in this spot. You spoke about this. Did this gain any traction, any media attention back home?
a little bit, but not enough. Not enough. But people are starting to get, almost mad at the media because they don't pay enough attention. So I get loads of messages now, and people are engaging in the cause. So hopefully we'll get something rolling now. But we need more of it for sure. It's not enough pressure.
What's the issue? Like, why are they still holding on to this this thought that MMA shouldn't be practiced in Norway?
There's actually a lot of resistance among the federations, the athletic federations, so to speak. So even amongst the martial arts community, there's a lot of resistance against MMA. Like more traditional martial arts, like boxing and kickboxing, and so those guys don't want us to get our place either. So they are kind of working against us in our own community. So it's tricky.
Okay. Last thing for you, who do you want next?
I would like Imavov. I think that's a good fight. Because coming off this win, would love an opportunity to step up a little bit, and we are still very, very close to each other in the rankings. So I think that makes sense. I've fought a lot of other guys higher up, and I can't think that I'm gonna be facing a top 5 guy either. So I think that Nasruddin Imavov makes sense for the next fight.
I love it. I agree with that as well. Would love to see it. Congrats on the win, Jack.
Thank you.
Have a good night's
Appreciate
sleep.
it.
Welcome back. Appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for having me.
There he is.
Always good to be here.
Yes, sir. There he is, the Joker, Jack Hermansson. Appreciate his time.